So far, we've learned about the specific sequence of whole steps and half steps that make every major scale. We've put major scales together using the piano keyboard, and we've notated them on manuscript paper. We've done this with the C major scale, the F major scale, and the G major scale. We've learned the C major scale is the only major scale that uses only the white keys on the piano keyboard. We also know that all other major scales will use one or more of the black keys. We saw this when we made the F and G major scales. The F major scale had a B flat, and the G major scale had an F sharp. But how did we know the black key used in the F major scale was a flat, and the black key used in the G major scale was a sharp? The answer lies in the musical alphabet. To review, the musical alphabet is the first 7 letters of the English alphabet: A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. Once these 7 letters or note names are used, they start over. No matter what note name you start on, once you come to a G, the next letter will go back to A. So, how does any of this help us to know whether a black key is a flat or a sharp? Just remember these 3 simple tests when creating any major scale. Every major scale will use all 7 letters or note names in the musical alphabet. Never skip a letter. Never use a letter twice before the musical alphabet starts over. Since the C major scale doesn't have any sharps or flats, we'll look at our F and G major scales to see how this works. Have your keyboard diagram handy for reference. First, let's look at the F major scale. Starting on F, we first want to go up 2 whole steps. The first whole step is G. The second whole step is A. Next, we want to go up 1 half step. Looking at the keyboard diagram, 1 half step up from A is this black key. This key says it can be either A sharp or B flat. Let's apply the 3 tests to the musical alphabet and see which it is. The first test says it will use all 7 note names or letters before the musical alphabet starts over. Since we only have 3 notes so far, this doesn't help us yet. Second test, never skip a letter. Okay, we have F, G, and A so far, so neither A sharp or B flat has us skipping over a letter yet. Let's look at test number 3. Test number 3 says, never use a letter twice before the musical alphabet starts over. Very helpful. We have F, G, and A. If we call this note A sharp, we will have used the letter A twice. Since we never use a letter twice, it must be B flat. Let's continue on. Next, we have 3 whole steps: C, D, and E. And finally, 1 half step, which is F. Now that our F major scale is complete, let's check that B flat against the 3 tests. Test number 1, use all 7 letters or note names before the musical alphabet starts over. Okay, we have F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, and then the musical alphabet starts over on F. This uses all 7 letters before the musical alphabet starts over. If we used A sharp instead of B flat, we would not have used all 7 letters, so B flat is correct. Test number 2, never skip a letter. If we used A sharp, we would have skipped over the letter B. Again, B flat is correct. Test number 3, never use the same letter twice. Again, if we had used A sharp, we would have used the letter A twice. So once again, B flat is correct. All 3 tests checked out. Let's do this again with the G major scale. The notes in the G major scale are G, A, B, C, D, E, Then we have the black key, and the last note, G again. The musical alphabet starts over. We want to determine whether this note is F sharp or G flat. Test number 1. Use all 7 letters before the musical alphabet starts over. If we chose G flat, then we didn't use the letter F. So the correct answer is F sharp. This uses all 7 letters. Test number 2. Never skip a letter. If we choose G flat, we would be skipping the letter F. So again, F sharp is correct. With F sharp, we don't skip any letter. Test number 3. Never use a letter twice before the musical alphabet starts over. If we choose G flat, then we have used the letter twice before the musical alphabet starts over. Once again, F sharp is correct. With F sharp, we don't use any letter twice before the musical alphabet starts over. All 3 tests pointed to the same answer, F sharp. All 3 tests will always point to the same answer when we have selected the correct accidental, sharp or flat, for that major scale.